American exports. For the same 90 days, President Trump paused reciprocal tariffs worldwide after days of stock market turmoil. Top White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett just told Fox.
He made, I think, the absolutely right, decisive call to go with really the bigger move rather than announce one or two trade deals, but go with the bigger move so that everybody in the world understands that he means what he says.
Now, Hassett says many countries are negotiating deals. Not China, though. The president increased the tariffs on imports from there to 125%. Now, on Wall Street, stocks could drop again after that big market rebound. Dow futures falling about 500 points the day after gaining the Dow nearly 3,000. The Nasdaq surged 12%, its second biggest day ever. An American who was jailed in Russia is now flying back home. Ksenia Karolina was set free in a prisoner swap. Karolina, a dual U.S.-Russian citizen, was convicted of treason, and her crime, donating $51 to a charity for Ukraine while she was in the U.S., arrested for that when she returned to Russia to visit family.
The Wall Street Journal reports that in return, the U.S. has released Arthur Petrov. He's a German-Russian dual citizen who was arrested in Cyprus in 2023. United States law enforcement wanted him over an alleged scheme to supply the Russian military with microelectronics.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. The House may vote today if Republicans can unite. On the budget blueprint, the Senate passed funding the president's agenda, but Fox's Brooke Singman reports.
House Speaker Mike Johnson tried to bring the bill to a vote last night, but did not have enough support from GOP lawmakers after a lengthy meeting with holdouts who couldn't reach an agreement. The vote was then canceled, but Johnson says he remains optimistic.
For all those in the media who doubt us, you continue to doubt us, and we continue to deliver, and we will again.
Some conservatives are demanding bigger spending cuts. They keep finding more bodies in the rubble of the nightclub roof collapse disaster in the Dominican Republic. The number of deaths, 218. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or ConsumerCellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
A big drug bust in Florida. The Justice Department and Coast Guard seized 45,000 pounds of cocaine worth $500 million at Port Everglades. The U.S. blames two Mexican drug cartels for playing a key role in the smuggling, and FBI Director Kash Patel says,
from the Department of Defense and the United States Coast Guard, from HSI, from FBI, from DEA, and so many others, they are going to get all the drugs off the streets.
Last month, Patel went to Virginia to oversee an immigration raid, arresting a man they alleged to be an MS-13 gang leader, but the charges against him may be dropped.
Court documents show the DOJ has acted to dismiss the case against Henry Villatoro Santos. His arrest was announced in March at a news conference with Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel, who accused Villatoro Santos of multiple violent crimes. The decision now is to dismiss any charges he faces without prejudice, meaning any counts could be reinstated. There is word the charges are being dropped to fast-track his deportation. It's not known if charges will be brought back once Villatoro Santos is removed from the country, or when that removal will take place. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Immigrants who want to come to the U.S. legally are going to be under more scrutiny.
In a statement, a Department of Homeland Security agency said that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will now consider the social media of immigrants and those applying for a visa, looking for what it calls anti-Semitic activity. The agency also says it will take into consideration any physical harassment of Jewish people, viewing that and the posts as grounds for denying immigration benefit requests.
That's Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Free speech advocates are condemning this, saying it's surveillance and singling out immigrants. They are getting underway in Augusta, Georgia. The Masters starting its golf's first major tournament of the year. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A trial of the former Sangamon County Sheriff deputy charged in the killing of Sonia Massey last year being moved to Peoria County. Decision announced after Sean Grayson's lawyers filed the motion saying they don't believe he can get a fair trial in Sangamon County. Illinois strengthening its trade relationship with the UK. The governor joining British officials at the Illinois State Capitol to sign a memorandum of understanding between Illinois and the United Kingdom. The MOU focuses on advancing manufacturing in the energy, technology, and life science sectors. Illinois exported over $2.6 billion in goods to the UK last year. A reopening date set for a historic hotel in Urbana. The former Urbana, Lincoln, and Landmark Hotel will reopen as Hotel Royer April 16. The hotel's booking website isn't allowing reservations for dates before April 28th. The reopening follows years of renovations at that hotel. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Well, good morning, friends. It is, hello, friends. It's Masters time, and so we're trying to track all of that fun stuff.
Yeah, it's a good time of year.
It's Augusta, Georgia. It's, I think, the best, my favorite tournament, obviously. It's beautiful. In Augusta this morning, they had the honorary tee times for Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and Tom Watson. They teed off, and the guys can still get club on ball, and they're probably, I think Tom Watson's the baby of the group, maybe high 70s.
Okay.
But I think Jack's got to be near 80, and Gary Player's over 80.
Legendary.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, and the weather, I think, in Georgia's okay today, isn't it, down there?
Yeah, kind of cool there at 48 there at the current time, and should be okay. There a couple of maybe showers that may get in there either tonight or tomorrow morning that may be kind of hitting random in nature, but the day-to-day opening up ought to be pretty nice down there, probably topping out somewhere a little north of 72, 73 this afternoon.
So many people go to Augusta to watch that thing, and they just showed Jack Nicklaus, and they said, sir, it is your tee, and he said, maybe. And he struggled to put the ball on the tee and put the tee in the ground. And brother Johnny's here. He played 2 rounds down in Augusta, so that's pretty cool to get to play in a garden like that. Is what you described it as. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know how many people go to that thing, but you have to you have to do a lottery a year before to see if you're picked for the lottery, and then you could, if you wanted to sell back your tickets, at like $1,500 each.
Do they check with your friends to see what your golf score really is?
Well, you don't have to. You don't play. You just watch it.
Well, I know that, but they may say, well, I'm a worm burner kind of golfer, so Solier, you're out. Just stick to forecasting.
I think there's some worm burners to go watch. There's no question.
Well, we have a tour stop in New Orleans. Nobody goes, and so we can kind of walk along with them, and that's okay. But as far as sitting there at one hole watching, or maybe you get 2 or 3, but I just don't think all day long, Greg.
If you could sit at behind 12, right of the par 3, and look at 11 coming in, that'd be a pretty good seat. Because you'd
for
see
about an hour. I can't do it.
You'd have to be sitting there about 14.
I like watching on TV. They got every angle. They switch to the holes.
You can't tell how hilly it is, though. It's really hilly.
Yeah, it's amazing, the contours. And I always tell people to describe it. I hit one to the edge of the green on 9, but I couldn't see the flag.
Wow. Edge of the green, you couldn't see the flag.
It was that much higher above where you were, and it'll just 14's the same way.
It's really the southernmost end of the Appalachians, so through northern and eastern Georgia.
And then they designed the greens as they're roly-poly, so you need to hit the correct quarter of the green based on where the
quadrants. You have to hit the right quadrant, or you're sunk.
Or you're just sunk.
Yeah. But Johnny always had the Bobby Jones Calamity Jane, the bamboo putter.
Bobby Jones designed that course with his friend,
right?
And he promoted the whole thing, and he actually retired from golf. He won he won the Ryder Cup and all 4 at the time, the Grand
Majors,
Slam, which was U.S. Open Amateur,
British,
and Professional British Open Amateur.
And
he invited his golf friends every year to a tournament. That was the Augusta Invitational, and
turned into this.
Turned into one of them.
But Johnny's Calamity Jane that Bobby designed was. You said it was a little odd how many balls went in when you were using that putter.
It might have been carved from the root of one of those trees. Yes. Everything, wherever I hit it, it went straight to the hole.
Wow.
It was a little eerie, actually. And after I golfed a pretty good round, my I quoted Apollo Creed. Ain't gonna be no rematch.
I love that.
You were happy the way, and you shot a 39 on the front.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which I'm a 15 handicap. So just you got to take that into.
That's fantastic. What a great memory. Anyway, it's one of my favorite tournaments for sure. Just the gorgeous nature of it, and how hard it is, and everything else. And one last anecdote: when Dwight David Eisenhower was president, he'd hang out there quite a bit because he's very good friends with Bobby Jones. And they'd get together, and they said, and the president would say, "Let's play teams. I'll take Bob."
Well, you're the president. You can choose your team.
That's exactly right. It's crazy. I'll take Bob. Come on, man. Here's our weather, brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you, stay in control of your medical care and get a health care plan that'll last even if there's a medical crisis. You can ask Carl about advanced care planning. Learn more at carl.org.
All right, meteorologist Greg Solier with a look at our weather in Champaign-Urbana. How are we looking?
Yeah, so a little chilly here. Better at Augusta, as we had pointed out, 48 there. We're over at Willard and Savoy with the areas of fog and some low clouds still lingering across some parts of the air. We're not completely done with this pesky shower activity that put about 1/10 to less than 2/10 in a gauge, but it just kind of generally slows up this whole drying and firming process across the area. And just a plethora of these weather systems moving through the next 7 to 10 days. So small windows of opportunity to get in the backyard and back 40, but nothing really terribly long lasting anytime soon. A chilly 38-degree reading at Willard and Savoy, speaking of which, and visibility is up to 5 miles and getting better than it was a couple of hours ago visibility wise. And there's a little rain back into southeastern Iowa, northern Missouri. That's coming our way for the mid and late morning into the early afternoon, maybe another few drops of rain towards evening time, and a partly sunny sky in between. That will help. A little bit better temps as well at 58 today, 37 tonight, maybe a fog patch late night tonight, first thing tomorrow, then partly sunny, a little bit cooler at 53. That's almost 10 shy of normal. Should be close to 60 this time of the year on a northeast to east wind. Patchy frost again tomorrow night, low down to 33, sunshine and 60 on Saturday, 66 on Sunday, temporarily into the lower 70s on Monday, maybe shower thunderstorm early in the day, then back to colder weather Tuesday and Wednesday with highs only in the 50s. For CVJ Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right, off and running. That's Brother Johnny. There's Diane Ducey.
Good morning.
ESPN 93.5. Thursday, it's April 10. John Decker's scheduled to call in. White House correspondent. Been very busy. Been around the White House and Oval and everything else a lot. And then, of course, the drama of tariffs. And now tariffs no more except for China, who are now enjoying a 124% tariff as China went to 84, and then Trump raised them back. And all of a sudden, middle of the day yesterday, Trump said 90-day pause, and the markets went up 3,000 points. 3,000 points.
Excited. Yeah,
what?
that was kind of predictable. So, no, I think things came around like we were hoping, which is redo the deals with these people. And the pause is because you can't do 75 deals in a half a day.
Yeah.
And so you got to go through, and he'll put them back on countries if they can't make a deal.
Right.
But
so was this the way it worked, or did he want to do it this way, or was the bond market going so nutty on him? And
all of that.
People were feeling
you got to be flexible.
Our friend Steve Suderman's got to be happy at Good Vibes, right? Because it's tariffs no more. There's going to be new deals and all of that stuff.
Well, I think so. I mean, it's one of those we talk about risk, and you wait and you're flexible and you see how to move. But with all the with as many countries and pretty key trading partners willing to sit down and talk about it, that's huge. And wait, what was going to happen without this? Nothing. Absolutely.
So
nothing.
The bottom line with Donald Trump in every regard is he'll do it, whatever that do it is.
Well,
he'll do it.
And going back to just the general issue is we can make products that other countries want just like we'll buy from them.
Yeah.
And we've actually figured how to compete, even though we have that higher standard of living, making it more challenging. But we're pretty innovative.
Yeah.
Then we go to sell the product, they double it.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Right.
not going to sell
So
it
if
here.
they
Why
don't-
not? It's only $100. We pay $125 over here for yours. Well, yours is actually $200. We doubled yours. It's 100% tariff. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll close down this town and this town.
So if you
'cause
make-
we can't sell anything.
If you make something that would be bought most everywhere in the world, but because of the tariff imposed on us, maybe you're going to sell more products around the world. Maybe we'll be more successful.
Well, we will. That's the idea.
I know.
If it's even, if it's even, and you have to compete, that's what's free trade.
Well,
if they're doubling your product, that's not free trade.
No, yeah.
That's just getting taken to the cleaners.
That's pretty amazing.
And by the way, they're selling our products back after we show them how to make them.
Yeah, right.
And so it's like, okay, time out. And
Still,
and it took a lot of guts to stand up and say, we're going to go through it, and if you guys want to play hardball, see how you do against us.
Yeah.
And they're all going, we can't beat America.
Right. No, it's unbelievable the day we had yesterday. Let's check sports headlines.
Speaking of unbelievable, the day we had yesterday was St. Louis when we were sitting here in the studio, Stevie, and hearing some of the game, and it was 0-0 at the bottom of the ninth, wasn't it?
Right. Went to extra innings, Cardinals lose.
Yeah, 2-1. Here's your Redbird recap.
The Redbird Recap is sponsored by Helitech Waterproofing and Foundation Repair. Heal your home with Helitech.
With Ricky Orton, I'm John Rooney. The Cardinals and Pirates played into the 13th. Walks helped the Pirates win in 13, 2-1.
Walks have been a story when the Cardinals don't win, and yesterday was a time where the Cardinals didn't hit. That was unusual. They managed just 1 run on 7 hits. That was an unearned run. Really, it was a game of unearned runs that came late because of the commissioner's rule in extras, and Chris Roycroft picked up the loss, but several good outings for the Cardinals pitching. They just couldn't score.
Eric Fetty had 6 no-hit innings.
Unbelievably good. He did walk some batters, but my goodness, you go 6 innings without giving up a hit. That's a terrific day at the ballpark.
But on the other side, the Pirates starter, Mitch Keller, went 7 1/3, no runs, 4 hits, a walk, and 6 strikeouts.
Very few hard hit balls in the game, and the Cardinals unfortunately couldn't come up with the hit late.
So the Cardinals come back home to play the Phillies tomorrow night on the air at 7:45. Andre Palante will make the start.
Is your home showing symptoms of foundation issues? Your home's wet basement, dingy crawl space, musty smells, cracked walls, or unlevel concrete shouldn't be ignored. Helitech can help. Life happens in your home. You and your family deserve the best. Helitech offers proven solutions in waterproofing, drainage, concrete leveling, and foundation repair services. Contact us for a free inspection at helitechonline.com.
When the water's high, we'll keep your basement dry. Heal your home with Helitech.
The Cubs will also have the day off. They've got the LA Dodgers tomorrow with a 9-10 start. That'll be tough. Texas on top yesterday, 6-2. To prevent this sweep, we had Cleveland with an odd ending to the game, beating Chicago's White Sox. 3-2 was the final. It's a 12-10 start for them today. Jackson Buchanan, 105 finalist for the Byron Nelson Award. Illinois Golf has some golfers involved in Augusta, Georgia in the Masters.
Well, you got Thomas
Dietrich and Brian Campbell.
Who used to work around the Champaign Country Club a lot as far as, I saw him play out there quite a bit, I think.
That's right.
Anyway, I still got a couple of participants, but it's nothing like the Masters. I don't know why. I mean, the Opens are great and all those other big ones, but the Masters.
That's right.
Jim Nantz announced that he's 65, Jim Nantz. He's going to try and do 10 more.
Okay.
He wants to finish when he's 75 years old at the Masters 100th tournament.
Well, he's helped make that Masters such a great presentation on CBS. So
weather brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
They remind you they've got their after hours tonight, 4:30 to 6:30, working with the Champaign County Chamber of Commerce at the Health and Wellness Center. Learn more at urbanaparks.org.
I see what the markets are up to next.
Logan everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and Vicinity. A couple of more little pesky weather systems for the day today and through this evening. Then a break in some of the shower activity expected as we move on through the end part of the week, and a good looking weekend with a warm up in store. It's going to be short-lived, more chillier days ahead, and a couple of more shower outbreaks as well, but at least no major spring storms on the maps and charts. Have to deal with some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, not as cool, up to 58. A couple of spotty showers around for the late morning, more likely, and back in towards evening time with a west-northwesterly wind on the light side. Tonight, lingering shower chance this evening in spots, mostly cloudy. 37 tomorrow, fog patch to start off the day, then partly sunny, and 53. Could be a frost patch tomorrow night, late into Saturday morning. Clear, colder tomorrow night, down to 33. Sunshine and up near 60 for the day on Saturday. Sunday, breezy, milder, partly cloudy, and high near 66 up to 73. Shower chances for the day on Monday. Cooler weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs in the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
You've set your financial goals. One kid plans to go Big Ten, the other Ivy. Your bucket list includes seaside sunrises and sunsets on the slopes, or perhaps a second home away from it all. Busey Bank can help develop the right investment strategy to take charge of the years ahead. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The European Union says it will pause tariff countermeasures for 90 days to give negotiations a chance, though the countermeasures will kick in if negotiations are unsatisfactory. President Trump yesterday paused reciprocal tariffs on all trading partners except for China for 90 days. Stock futures have turned negative after the Dow rose more than 2,900 yesterday following the tariff pause. Shoppers continued to buy at Costco last month. Tariff uncertainty did not impact sales, which rose 8.6% over last year. Fresh foods were a top category, but shoppers were also picking up jewelry, toys, and seasonal items. Costco's online sales were up 16%. Wall Street will be reacting today to the Consumer Price Index for March. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jimmy Cosola. Invested in you.
The world of business moves fast. Stay on top of it with the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday. Fox Business reporters, anchors, and hosts will bring you beneath the stock market speculation and boardroom drama to tell you about the biggest business stories of today. Whether you're on Main Street or Wall Street, Fox Business is invested in you.
Listen to the Fox Business Rundown every Monday and Friday at foxbusinesspodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Stevie J here. With Nate Evans of eXp Realty, you'll always get a stress-free sale for the most money.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Are you ready to upgrade your home this spring? Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing has got the sale for you. Now through the end of March, offering a free water heater with the purchase of a new HVAC system, or 60 months, 0% interest on financing for a new HVAC system. It's the biggest sale of the year. Call Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing at 217-841-4728. Get a free quote for your home today. It's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
All right, so you see some of the people that are interviewed on the street, you know, random people that protest, stop Trump, all these other things.
Yeah.
Well, here's one woman. Just you tell me what she's talking about.
Stop the SAVE Act.
Yes. Can you explain to me what the SAVE Act is?
Well, I mean, if you look things up and if people would actually do their research, it is a part of the 2025 agenda that this administration ran on that they denied. But what it amounts to is people really want to, what they really want to do is they want one vote per household. And in order to do that, you have to stop women from voting. And the way that you stop women from voting is that you tell them they have to have two forms of ID. Well, you have to have two forms of ID, so you have to have a birth certificate.
What is she talking about?
I've never heard anything about it.
That's just one of those you say, oh, honey, let's go back to bed.
And what's the say? What's
well,
the
no,
say?
I've never heard of it in my life. Anyway,
but she's saying we need to research.
Okay, go research that because nobody knows what that is, and it's just one of those. The guy was just going, okay, well, tell me about that, and nobody knows what she's talking about. Anyway, one vote per household. Have you ever heard about that in your life?
No.
Okay, anyway, honey, let's go back to bed.
And women need to have two forms of ID.
I never heard of that. So
do we need any ID at all?
No, not in Illinois.
But if you wanted to do the research, you'll find someplace online where it says, yeah, and if you believe it, you'll be out in the street, I guess.
I don't. Yeah, exactly. There's just that's an example of maybe not everybody there is in line with maybe what's happening.
Well, how about almost all of them aren't really in line with what's happening?
Yeah. Okay, I wanted to do Spring Green today, a new Stever for you, where I want to make you have that plush green lawn. Steve Imke, a good friend of mine, owns Spring Green. It's an awesome business. They're all over central Illinois. So if you live, criminy, I think they go to Charleston, Mattoon.
Yeah.
Sometimes we limit this to, just Champaign County. No, this is the whole region here. If you're here, he's not driving to California, okay? Some people streaming could be. Anyway, so if you would like your lawn greener and better and looking unbelievable when you drive home, I'll give out like $250 towards Spring Green. So all you have to do is text in Spring Green, just Spring Green, 217-359-2255, 217-359-2255. Spring Green, if you want to, some of the stuff that's going on in your yard, man, later in the year, you could get grubs. Those are little June bugs that fly into your lawn, and then you have like a slippery rug in your lawn, which I had.
That was around the time that Janet had there was a surprise birthday party for her that I was DJing. I almost dropped my big speaker because I was hauling it over it was essentially a carpet that was on slime because there was so many grubs underneath.
I had a lot of grubs under there. So, and the guys laughed. I give them credit for being honest, and then they fixed my lawn.
Yeah.
So if you would like this $250 gift, text in Spring Green. You'll love working with Steve Imke and JT Warmbier.
That'd be a cool gig, driving around and then you're assessing people's lawn, and you got that aeration machine, which is kind of like a rototiller or something.
Yeah, you got dragged by an aeration machine, Diane.
Yeah, they told me it has a little kick when you start off. Are you ready? And yeah. And I had no idea I had that much kick. And it really took me, Johnny. And I think I had some blades of grass between my teeth.
Kind of a tough one.
But I was laughing.
Yeah.
At least I was laughing. I didn't get hurt.
So if you want one of these incredible deals from Spring Green, 217-359-2255, I'll pay $250 toward your beautification project. So there's that. Good luck to you. Steve's a good guy. He has a truck that has the crank window.
Okay.
It has, Steve, I'm not sure. I think it's 625,000 miles on it.
It's a lot.
Well,
but he takes care.
Yeah.
That's got value because nobody can track you. If you need to go on the lam,
no computer on that.
No way they'll find you in that baby.
An old-fashioned engine that you can work out.
The old days when Brother Greg got that 56 Chevy, you could work on that.
Right.
You can't touch them now, right?
And you're tuning the radio. And then you find in a tune. The old-fashioned. I love it.
Does Steve's truck even have FM? I'm sure it does, but He's really old.
Steve and JT, great people. And by the way, speaking of that 359-2255, I've got some people that were texting in for these passes to go to Farmer City Raceway tomorrow and Saturday, and we're deciding on which day and things like that. Like, for instance, Chris in Paris is a winner. Congratulations. And Dominic out of Broadlands was a winner chosen yesterday. So thanks for texting in the word farmer to win.
John Decker calling in next, live from Washington, D.C. He is in the White House, I think, almost daily, and sends me photographs of his proximity to the president a lot, which is pretty remarkable. And I said, do you ever get tired of it? Take it. He says, no.
Yeah.
He said he knows he's living history every day. That's his job.
Yeah, it'd be fascinating. Something different every day.
Look how close he is to his new friend, Steve Bessent, Treasury. And he got a question answered from the Treasury Secretary.
Okay.
Right outside on the White House, wherever that is.
Primo seat.
Well, I don't know the White House. I've never been. Well, I think we went there one time in 1970.
I've just seen it through the gates when I visited D.C. My sister Susan lives out there.
Yeah.
I also see that Steve texted in 6,666.
600,000.
666, 300. Wait, I'm not saying it right.
What? Read the numbers there, Diane.
666,300.
Wow. So it's over 650,000 miles.
That's a lot.
All right.
That's a lot of miles.
That's the mileage on the truck. That's a long way.
That's quite a few.
Yeah, we're getting a few texts in for spring green.
Well, why wouldn't you want your lawn to be?
Not?
Listen, my lawn, I put in a new lawn 20 years ago, and I'd call these guys and I'd say, well, I got a couple weeds over there. And they said, you have to wait for your lawn to kind of grow in, and then it'll close the gaps, and then they won't be there.
Yeah.
So they have to be patient with pesky people too. So, and if you want to work for them, you just drive around in a truck all day and be on your own time. That's kind of fun.
I know it.
I told him I'd do it, but I'm $400 an hour. And he balked. How could you balk at that?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
Little high.
All right, we'll be right back. It's ESPN 93.5. John Decker, and the theme, more importantly, will be next. Stand by.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. Without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
Sarah Champagne's Ben Quattrone on keeping his employees.
It's got to be the place to work. We have to pay the best. We have to treat people the best. Some of the guys wanted to order pizza the other day. Well, we bought 30 Papa Del's pizzas. BMW had the best month they've ever had. They said, can we have a cookout? Saturday, I cooked like 50 ribeye steaks. And they were expecting like cheeseburgers, burgers and hot dogs and stuff. Like, if I'm eating steak, you're eating steak. We both eat steak, we both eat hamburger.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com.
After yesterday's big bounce back when President Trump announced a 90-day pause on new tariffs that had just gone into effect. White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett says there was concern over a U.S. government bond sell-off.
I think the president decided on his own, really, that, well, we're going to announce this anyway. We might as well do it today. There's a little bit of an extra push for the bond market. But this is the plan that he was pursuing all along.
He was on Fox and Friends. A judge in Idaho has heard arguments about what evidence to allow in a quadruple murder case.
Brian Koberger's defense team asking a judge to ban some witness testimony, 911 audio and other evidence, even terms like psychopath, sociopath, and murderer, and DNA from key evidence that prosecutors say linked their client to the killings of 4 University of Idaho students in Moscow.
Fox's Jeff Manasseh. The trial is set to start in August. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. No one was hurt Tuesday night after a fire started at an apartment building in downtown Champaign. It happened near University Avenue and Neal Street. Champaign Fire says the automatic alarm went off. Once firefighters did arrive, they discovered the sprinkler system had been activated. Republican speaker known for striking up debates with college students made his way to the University of Illinois on Tuesday night. Hundreds made their way to Fellinger Auditorium, both for and against Charlie Kirk's presence on campus. Supporters stood in lines for hours while wearing MAGA hats. Kirk touring across the country is the founder of Turing Point USA. U.S. Grand Motel in Mattoon has sat vacant for nearly 2 decades. Dilapidated building change ownership and now demolition underway. That growth comes in the form of demolition and a Coles County community breathing a sigh of relief. It's an opportunity for revitalization in a key area of Mattoon. The building sat vacant since 2005. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and vicinity. Another damp morning across the area. Get used to it. That's the way it plays on out. Best window for any early season field work if it's firm enough out there over the next 2 or 3 days and part of the weekend into the weekend too, with a general warming trend short-lived. Another couple of cold fronts and another couple of shower outbreaks expected for next week, but at least no major spring storm systems on the maps and charts. Partly sunny skies after the patchy fog birds away. There may be a stray shower in here mid to late morning and back in for the late afternoon up to 58 on a light west-northwest wind. Lingering shower chance this evening, mostly cloudy, 37. Could be a fog patch again here tomorrow morning to start off, then partly sunny and 53. Back up to near 60 on a bit of a west-southwest wind developing for the day on Saturday. Good-looking day there. A warmer Sunday at 66, up to 73, and maybe a shower or 2 in the morning on Monday. Back to some chillier weather, but dry next Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs into the 50s, back to the 60s late next week, and a couple more scattered showers and thunderstorms too. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Yeah, a little cool around East Central Illinois this morning, to be sure, but again, just a warmer feel. It's 38 right now. It doesn't feel like 10 or anything like that. It's nice.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice today hitting that high. Ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, boys and girls, moms and dads, boys and girls, it's Thursday. John Decker. John Decker, John Decker. I want to talk to John Decker. He is the one we know. I want to talk to John Decker. He's at the White House in press room.
John Decker, John Decker.
Yes, children in grade school singing the theme. Ladies and gentlemen, White House correspondent for Great Television, His best friend is the CEO who did a call out on the phone call of earnings, Hilton. My buddy Hilton is a good friend, and Anyway, John Decker, live from Washington. You probably walk into the White House like you walk into your home. I mean, it's so normal. I mean.
Yeah.
And I said you say you never take it for granted or you never got, blah, blah, blah. You know the enormity of history and you're part of it.
Well, I realize that in the moment. I do. And I don't know if my colleagues realize that in the moment. I do. I realize that in the first term of Donald Trump, and I realize that now when every day you don't know what's going to happen. Yesterday, perfect example of that with that announcement that the president made on social media first, that he's pausing those tariffs, those reciprocal tariffs on every one of our trading partners.
What an explosion. Sure glad I bought $1 million in stock when it was at its low. Boy, that was good. You know, there was Dave Portnoy who did Barstool Sports was on X last night going, I won $8.2 million today. I'm up $8.2 million today. And he's doing a dance and he's got his baseball bat and he's just so fired up. So what about all this? I mean, is he just the best negotiator in the world or was it out of necessity? What changed everything yesterday?
I think what changed everything was the fact that the financial markets were imploding. And there was a major sell-off of bonds as well, and that shows a lack of confidence in the U.S. And in our obligations. So all of that is a week after the president, to much fanfare, announces these reciprocal tariffs in the Rose Garden. I was there, Stevie. I saw it. You know, I interviewed the Commerce Secretary after that big event, and 1 week later, the president announces this pause. That was not pre-planned by any stretch of the imagination. I think it was really a reaction to what we saw happen in financial markets for 4 consecutive sessions.
Boy, I tell you, it was rough. And good news to the Democrats. They have their impeachment tool because I heard several say market manipulation. It's probably because they sold it short. Anyway, it's they've got they got the verbiage.
Well, John, though, I got to tell you, the whole point was, look, if you're going to do tariffs on our products, we're just going to do them on yours because it's not fair. We can't sell them to yours just because you're doubling our price, and we buy in your product. That's not free trade. So here's the deal: we'll do whatever you're going to do. And I think he expected that to change, and they're apparently contacting the White House. Said, okay, let's figure it out. So I don't know that it was. I was thinking there was going to be at least a pause for each country willing to talk, because you have to have time to make a new deal. And apparently there's an onslaught. And then you do add this, well, we can't keep this going much longer. Mm-hmm. We will have a problem. But it looks like it's kind of what we did this for. And I think it's very positive. So now you got to go through the 90 days.
Except China.
John will be telling us what's going on. I'm very curious.
Good luck keeping up with them. But China's still got this tit for tat going here, John. So is that a problem?
Yeah. Well, it is a problem. You know, I mean, they're a huge trading partner of the U.S., 125% tariffs, and that impacts so many goods. You know, I don't think you can buy anything on Amazon these days without it coming from China. Then you also have the flat screens, the laptops, the smartphones, all of that has Chinese components. And so it will lead to an increase in those prices for those types of goods. And those auto tariffs remain in place, 25% tariffs on all autos manufactured outside the U.S., and there's that baseline 10% tariff that remains in place. So it's not a complete pause altogether. There are tariffs that still are there and will impact the price of goods that we pay. Over the course of the next 90 days, hopefully there's a significant agreement with most of our trading partners related to tariffs, and you can put this uncertainty behind us.
Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah. And then that's the hope. But I don't think that China can hold out that long, John. We can basically produce all the products that we need, but we don't want to pay what we have to pay if we have some free trade globally. We'll let other people compete. I like it, but it's got to be fair. And China is the most unfair of the trading partners. And so I think they're going to have to come around. Who are they going to sell the product to?
Well, they need us.
We got to buy their product, but they got to sell it. It's a two-way street.
But they also, China's number one thing, John, is don't embarrass us. So they're going to have to figure out, both sides have to save face of some kind, where I won that one.
But how you do that is you get together, you're on TV, we're good buddies. He's just a great guy.
They need to meet. I think Xi and Trump need a meeting, don't they, John? And you need to go.
John will be there going, but gee, what do you think about the New Deal? Oh, Donald's great. And I'm glad you asked that question.
And so we need a meeting with China at some point, and that'll get some attention. John Decker needs to go. I need you to be the guy.
Yeah.
So I need you on that plane. Do you have a
Well, yeah. I mean, I would certainly travel for that kind of a meeting, but I don't see that happening soon. That's the only thing. Chinese have really dug on their heels. They say they're in it for the long run, the long game. That's what they say today. Maybe things are different a week from now.
Right.
But in any case, that creates an incredible amount of uncertainty as it relates to financial markets over the course of 90 days. When I asked the Treasury Secretary yesterday, can we expect some stability in financial markets over the course of the next 90 days? And he did not answer that question directly. He's a Wall Street guy, and I think he knows that we can expect this volatility over the course of, this time period, just because a lot of this needs to get resolved, and it takes time. The trade agreement between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico, the USMCA agreement, that took a year to get done. And, multiply that by 75 deals, you're talking about a lot of time beyond the 90-day period.
Yeah, that's a lot. So.
Yeah, it's a relief for a whole bunch of people. Steve Suderman at Good Vibes selling televisions. The HVAC guys with air conditioners and furnaces going way high. Yeah. I mean, they're these are small businesses that can't survive 6 months without a lot of business.
But while we're making these deals with 75 other countries, that means China's going to have more pressure while we're getting better deals and we'll do more trade. Yeah. Well, they work with all these countries. They're a big logo, second to us. So I think, John, I'm optimistic it'll be quicker maybe than we think, and I'm sure the Treasury Secretary was a little bit slow to predict the markets because who knows?
Well, John, you've been doing this since Bill Clinton. Have you ever seen so much activity in the first 91 days?
You know the answer to that. Yeah. The answer is no. I mean, it's unbelievable what's happened in this 90 days. It's exhausting me.
Could you ask the president to slow down for you?
Yeah, he's got remarkable energy. He's been doing this all. Yeah. He travels every weekend down to Florida, I guess, to rejuvenate, to re-energize, and good for him that he's able to do that. He's got his 79th birthday coming up, and that's in June. And it's pretty remarkable the pace that he keeps.
I go to an event. If I'm somewhere for like 3 hours, I'm exhausted. What is he? I mean, really?
Well, it's just certainly, when you turn 70, which I just did, and you think, now time to slow down. It sure puts a kink in my plans. I'm like, wow, I don't know. Am I supposed to do anything close to that? Maybe I'm lazy. I don't know what to tell you. But I
don't think
the excuse isn't working at 70, watching this 79-year-old.
But Trump's just wired that way.
I guess so, but it's just remarkable that you can go without a ton of sleep. I mean, 4 hours, is that kind of what you hear about?
I think one of his tricks is he doesn't, and you can tell us, John, he doesn't seem to stew about things much. He just makes a call and goes on, and then he does prove. So you got to figure his stress level's high, but I don't know.
Well, I got this clip about so much is coming out, as you know, about Joe Biden. Everyone's now talking making money on books and all these other things. When they were preparing for that early debate, here's kind of how I would have probably been. I probably would have done a Joe Biden kind of thing here.
At one point during a session in Aspen Lodge, the presidential cabin, Biden wanders out. In the middle of the session, he wanders out to the pool, collapses into a lounge chair, and falls sound asleep.
Yeah, I do that.
So now, fast forward. Nevertheless, they go ahead with this debate. I asked Clay, and I said, why? Why in the world would you do that? And he said, well, it was politically just wasn't feasible to cancel it at that point. So they couldn't do it.
Well, that's some inside stuff. I mean, collapsing in a chair while everyone's sleeping. What's wrong with that, man? I mean, come on, man.
Who was that speaking?
You know what? It was on with Jesse Waters last night. The clip I got from X didn't say. I did not see the name of that guy, but he obviously sounded like he was inside kind of the prep and all that stuff. So anyway, but all this stuff about, everyone saying, well, he really wasn't. Well, we all were talking about that for 4 years. Well, how good is he? Is he really being briefed? Is he really making decisions? Somebody's pulling the levers here, and it was probably by committee. But, John, do you think we'll ever know exactly how all that worked?
I do. Look, people, as that clip you just played, people are not loyal. They disclose a lot. When they get a book deal or whatever, surprised, that there's this lack of loyalty to a certain extent. But, you saw all the books that came out during Donald Trump's first term, people that spoke to the media about what it's like, essentially in the White House as decisions are being made. So you see this with both political parties, a lot of vipers out there. And so, we will learn, I think, more over the course of the next few years about what the past 4 years under Joe Biden, what was happening in that White House.
Well, it's not just lack of loyalty; it's also self-preservation. I didn't do. Look, and I was telling them, here's the deal. Right. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, wow, we got to do something, but nobody was listening to me. So I think there's some of that. But I agree with Stevie. It seemed pretty obvious that he was having a lot of help running the country, and we were wondering who exactly
makes
was
the calls,
the real influencers.
And then the chief of staff would change, and Susan Rice would leave, and you go, wait a minute, I thought she was, all these changes.
Right,
maybe, John, maybe it was Jill Biden. Maybe it was her all along. Maybe she was in the bunny suit. Maybe it all started there. Maybe the Easter bunny that had to grab him, help him.
Oh, boy.
It was Jill Biden in there. Maybe.
There you go.
Anyway, it's amazing. So now, again, I've asked you this before. How do you prioritize what's next today? I mean, what's on the agenda that's going to be the headline?
Well, the president's having a cabinet meeting today. Right now, it's listed as closed press, but I would not be surprised if it's open, and that becomes our story for the day, in terms of what the president's saying a day after the financial markets had this huge swing upward, which was a good thing. So I think that is what immediately is next. But 90 days is an important time period, in terms of getting those deals done with all of those countries to create less uncertainty in financial markets, and that's a big thing. That's a big thing for anyone who's following their retirement accounts or college savings accounts, and they experienced a lot of anxiety over the course of the past week.
Then you also have to keep your eye on that big, beautiful bill they're trying to come to terms
That's right.
with. And so, you got a very interesting job right now, John. Great you talk to us and get it out in the hinterland.
We know we get the straight stuff from you, and
you do.
And again, there's so many opportunities. How do you not miss one of Trump's comments? You can't be there 24/7, right? It's just not possible.
Yeah, no, it's true. I sometimes learn from my colleagues something that happened that I perhaps missed on social media. It's really a dizzying pace, and you have to keep up on all of that. And yesterday, a perfect example of that, with all of the surprises that we saw in the 1 o'clock p.m. hour with the president putting that out on social media.
That really changed it.
What I'm enjoying or appreciating is that they seem to be telling us what's going on. Do you get that feeling that you're getting the answers? It's more transparent. You can trust what they're telling you?
Well, certainly more interactions with the president, with the people that speak on behalf of the president. Yesterday, I asked a question of the Treasury Secretary just outside the West Wing, and he responded to my question. That did not happen during the Biden years.
Yeah.
I can't recall a time where you had this opportunity to ask the Commerce Secretary questions or the Treasury Secretary questions on a day in which a major policy announcement has been made by the president.
No, it's a pretty remarkable time, and I think this Caroline Levitt, she seems so on top of everything. She's very impressive. I see her as a congresswoman, a senator. I think she's so young. She's so talented. She's going to be around a while.
Well, she has a decision to make. She could possibly. She's too young to run for the U.S. Senate.
Wow.
And there is a Senate seat coming up in the next cycle. You have to be 30 years old to be a U.S. Senator.
She's 27,
and
I think.
She's too young.
Yeah.
And she's 27 right now. So she's too young to pursue a Senate race. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, if that's something she wants to pursue, the sky's the limit for her.
But she could go out on the mashed potato circuit and make $50,000 a night. Easy.
I love when you call it that.
Easy. $50,000 easy.
So funny.
Well,
yeah, there you go. Oh,
I think
easy.
she'll
Yeah,
stick
that's right.
around for a while, but I
do
appreciate
too. I
John
don't think she's
Decker,
going
Stevie
anywhere.
No,
J,
it's
because
good.
he's out there getting the news and getting it out to us, and without the true press, I think what you're doing is what the press was really made for, which is
thanks, Johnny.
It's keeping accountability, telling the people who are supposedly in charge what's really going on, and always on top of it. So thanks for doing that.
Well,
John.
many people are in Central Illinois
Absolutely.
trust you, what you say, and they see your evenness, and they don't know how you vote, which is beautiful. So it's great stuff right down the middle. John Decker, and the fact that you do up to 40 hits a day on television stations across America and get the names right of the anchors. Come on, man. Come on, man. I mean, really. You're standing there going, well, Carol, thank you. And what is that?
What is that? I don't know, Stevie.
It's just good.
That's part
It's
of the
just
job.
real good. He's real good at it. John, we appreciate it. We'll call you next week with my friend. I thank you so much.
Watching.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, Johnny, thanks so much. Diane, we'll talk real soon. Stevie, have a great weekend. We'll talk next week.
That's John Decker, live near the White House. He lives just a couple of miles away. In Washington, D.C., his wife is a big shot at Amtrak. So, power couple. They go to Mick Jagger concerts all the time. Sit in nice seats. Anyway, really good guy and a friend for now quite a while. And I'm the guy, kind of made a theme out of when he was in Little Cubby and radio and Fox News. Made a theme for him, so kind of ahead of that one. Yeah. Okay, it's 7:51. Weather with Greg coming up.
Nate Evans at the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. If someone wants to build their dream home, how can you help them find that perfect property?
Yeah, these are getting tougher and tougher every year. Everybody's looking for specific properties. Maybe it's high character. Maybe there's woods, trees, water, pond, lake. The more that Champaign continues to grow, and some of our river town communities offer some of them high character lands, a lot tougher it is to come across these. We have found a huge network of potential sellers and landowners that have told us, hey, if the number makes sense, we'd be willing to sell. And that doesn't always have to be obnoxious. A lot of times that's just timing. We've also found a lot of these parcels, if we get enough demand, that they're willing to chop up and we can subdivide again. I think working with somebody that's familiar and been a part of a lot of these residential subdivision developments, such as ourselves, they'll be aware of the opportunities and the land opportunities for those buyers and be able to partner with the appropriate builders based on their budgets.
You can reach out at Nate Evans Group and start packing.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow right here in Champaign-Urbana can switch you over so you can start saving today. Kurt and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. It's easy to switch and save. Just give them a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
Check our weather, brought to you by Kramer Siding and Window.
Yeah, Kramer Siding and Window, your premier provider for home improvements, including siding and their gutters and the windows. You need a new door, kramersiding.com.
Logan everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Van Ness, Vicinity. A couple of more little pesky weather systems for the day today and through this evening. Then a break in some of the shower activity expected as we move on through the end part of the week. And a good-looking weekend with a warm-up in store. It's going to be short-lived, more chillier days ahead, and a couple of more shower outbreaks as well, but at least no major spring storms on the maps and charts. Have to deal with some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, not as cool, up to 58. A couple of spotty showers around for the mid-late morning, more likely, and back in towards evening time with a west-northwesterly wind on the light side. Tonight, lingering shower chance this evening in spots, mostly cloudy. 37 tomorrow, fog patch to start off the day, then partly sunny and 53. Could be a frost patch tomorrow night, late into Saturday morning. Clear, colder tomorrow night down to 33. Sunshine up near 60 for the day on Saturday. Sunday, breezy, milder, partly cloudy, and a high near 66 up to 73. Shower chances for the day on Monday. Cooler weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs in the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Here's another home improvement insight from Kramer Siding and Window. New roofing and siding are a winning combination that can instantly change the look, feel, and function of your home. Our Kramer Siding and Window team takes pride in being an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, able to offer a best-in-the-business 50-year warranty. Pair it with preservation siding in your favorite style and color, and your home will be a showstopper. Start today and save 10% on roofing and 25% on siding. Call us, click on kramersiding.com, or visit the showroom in Champaign.
Preventative care is a key factor in maintaining your overall health. Don't delay your health care. If you haven't already scheduled your annual wellness checkup and any recommended screenings and immunizations, do it today. Christie Clinic primary care physicians have same-day appointments available. Talk to a Christie Clinic physician about important screenings and immunizations. You don't want to delay. Make an appointment today at christieclinic.com and click on online scheduling. Take care of yourself and put your health first.
Race weekend, April 24th through the 26th. Illinois Marathon.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Tired of trying to keep up with Old Man Jones and his perfect lawn? Spring Green knows that we can't all spend hours a day creating that perfect shade of green, killing off all that crabgrass, and making sure every insect in the neighborhood doesn't call your lawn home this year. At Spring Green, they take the hassle out of your lawn headache with services such as lawn fertilization, weed control, grub and insect control, lime treatments, and even bush and tree care. Let the experts at Spring Green help you this season. For more information, visit them at spring-green.com. Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team.
Yeah, we're talking about Steve Imke. That's our Stever offer. If you've just tuned in, I'm giving out $250 to beautify your lawn. Mm-hmm. And all you have to do to win that is to text in Spring Green to 217-359-2255. And you can have a great chance to get one of these. And just text me, and then we'll let you know if you're one of our winners. But we want you to have that lawn you love driving home to, because Bob next door just is so ridiculous how good that thing looks.
Right.
So you can get a beautiful lawn. It's not that hard, and they can take care of it for you. And he's been doing it a long time, and they're highly rated, and they do all over Central Illinois. Anyway, 217-359-2255, Spring Green, if you're interested in this $250. What's the catch? I got to call them and say, hey, I won this thing. So that's all you got to do.
359-2255, the words Spring Green.
All right, a few more clips I wanted Johnny to hear here today. I'll have those in the next hour. Stand by.
Okay, we also have Tim Onstadt featured and barbecueologist.
Pitmaster. We talk about barbecuing and the smoker and all that.
Absolutely.
That'll be next. Stand by. Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Underground Solutions. Are you tired of dealing with leaky faucets, basement flooding, bursting or leaking pipes? From plumbing maintenance and repairs to installing new water heaters and sump pumps, our goal is to get you up and running as soon as possible. At Lands Plumbing, we have 24/7 emergency service and a team of highly skilled professionals that will work with you to get the job done right the first time. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Less inflation. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Amid all the worry about Trump tariffs spiking up prices, we just learned inflation declined slightly in March from February, and the consumer price index also went down annually. Fox Business Network's Cheryl Casoni.
Month over month, the headline number, negative 0.1%. Year over year, we came in, headline number 2.4%. Wall Street was looking for 2.6%. So that's lighter than expected.
And that's also a drop from the 2.8% annual inflation in February. One price that keeps rising, though, eggs. A new record high, $6.23 a dozen on average, continuing in the increase blamed on a bird flu outbreak. Now a tariff update.
Yesterday, the European Union finalised a set of tariffs on US goods. Today, it's put them on hold. The EU responding in kind to President Donald Trump's announcement that most of the trade tariffs he planned to impose are being frozen for 90 days.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. President Trump's reciprocal tariff pause came after many countries came forward to negotiate. Top White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett tells Fox.
We've already got offers on the table for more than 15 countries. 15 countries. Great. Now, that doesn't mean there's a deal, but it means that you've heard the much larger number for people who call and they want to talk.
But China's not negotiating. President Trump raised tariffs on Chinese goods to 125%. On Wall Street the day after a big stock rebound reacting to the tariff pause, selling may return, Dow futures down 700 points. The House may vote today on what President Trump calls a big, beautiful bill. The Senate's budget blueprint funding his agenda. He just posted on Truth Social it's coming along really well. It includes the biggest tax cuts in history, extending the 2017 cuts. But a vote on that bill was postponed last night. Some Republicans are opposed, prompting GOP Congressman Derek Van Orden to say,
there is a small group once again in the Republican conference that thinks that they got 77 million votes and that they're the president of the United States. They're enough.
An American jailed in Russia for treason, Ksenia Karelina, was released today in a prisoner swap with the U.S. America's listening to Fox News.
It's tax season. By now, we're all a bit tired of numbers, but here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much money in refunds the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now, here's a good number, $100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed. Save up to 40% in your first year with promo code CLAY. Visit LifeLock.com. That's LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
While the U.S. and China keep waging a trade war, there's a move to counter China's growing influence around the Panama Canal, which President Trump wants the U.S. to take back control of. In the meantime,
both Panama and the U.S. are signing a new defense pact assuring control of the integral Panama Canal won't fall to the People's Republic of China, which has been working business deals to manage canal infrastructure. The deal paves ways for future agreements, ensuring rights of access for the U.S. military.
For U.S. warship and auxiliary ships to sail first and free through the Panama Canal.
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth speaking in Panama City. The Trump administration has routinely warned against China's growing economic presence in the Western Hemisphere. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Now something else we are competing with China in. Space.
NASA Administrator nominee Jared Isaacman telling the Senate Commerce, Science, and Transportation Committee,
I absolutely want to see us return to the moon. As I mentioned in my prepared remarks, determine the economic, scientific, and national security value while we are also proceeding towards Mars.
Stressing the U.S. must beat China when it comes to Mars exploration. Grilled by Massachusetts Democrat Ed Markey over interactions with SpaceX CEO and presidential advisor Elon Musk.
It's not a difficult question. Was Elon Musk in the room when the president offered you the job?
Senator, my meeting was with the President of the United States.
Isaacman replying no when asked if he's discussed his plans for NASA with Musk. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
We just got an employment update. A slight decrease in first-time jobless claims last week, down 4,000 to 223,000. The number of people continuing to collect jobless benefits also declined, down 43,000, 1.85 million. Golf's first major tournament of the year underway, the Masters at Augusta in Georgia. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. A reopening date set for a historic hotel in Urbana. The former Urbana, Lincoln, and Landmark Hotel will reopen as Hotel Royer April 16. The hotel's booking website isn't allowing reservations for dates before April 28th. The reopening follows years of renovations at that hotel. The trial of the former Sangamon County Sheriff Deputy charged in the killing of Sonia Massey last year being moved to Peoria County. Decision announced after Sean Grayson's lawyers filed the motion saying they don't believe he can get a fair trial in Sangamon County. Illinois strengthening its trade relationship with the UK. The governor joining British officials at the Illinois State Capitol to sign a memorandum of understanding between Illinois and the United Kingdom. The MOU focuses on advancing manufacturing in the energy, technology, and life science sectors. Illinois exported over $2.6 billion in goods to the UK last year. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, thank you, Jim. ESPN 93.5. It's Greg Solier time, and he has jumped on the other side. And here we go with a spring type of weather. We're enjoying that. We've already mentioned last hour that down in Augusta, where the Masters has started, you're on the course.
Is it going to rain tomorrow down there, Greg?
Let's see. Well, there's a little shower business that will be creeping in probably sometime actually even in the mid to late afternoon, at least to about Atlanta. Then probably I would think as they wind things up, I'm hoping by this evening should be relatively quiet. None of this looks to be heavy and severe, but yeah, there will be some shower activity overnight tonight as well. Tomorrow morning, a break in the back end tomorrow afternoon, but a little more scattered and random. Don't see this long lasting or anything like they've seen in that particular part of the country and areas upstream with all the severe and flooding and all that, but there may be a brief minor rain delay from time to time during the course of the tournament.
And you get a soft green, those guys would just be throwing darts. I mean, they're so good at it.
They better, though, because they got to hit the right quadrant.
Man. Yeah, Johnny said there's four areas of the green. They call them quadrants, and the Masters is for master golfers where they have to find the right quadrant, and if you're in the wrong quadrant, you might as well put a bogey down.
Difficult to two-putt.
Yeah, very hard. Yeah,
that having to do with probably the pitch of all those greens.
Oh yeah, no,
it's level, right?
Yeah,
you cannot believe the rolling contours of the green. We're not talking about a little fading deal. We're talking about hills on the green.
If they'll come back to you if you don't hit it.
Oh no, they will, or go right off the green.
Oh gosh. Brutal. Let's check your weather. Brought to you by Busey for over 155 years. Member FDIC. Here's our meteorologist, Mr. Greg Solier.
Yeah, they are down close to, at least actually up, I should say, up around the 50 to 54 degree mark around the Augusta and tournament course area right now. There, again, as mentioned, a couple of showers making their way east and south of Nashville, and it's conceivable maybe in the late afternoon, early evening to the north and northeast in particular of Augusta, maybe a little shower activity, and then certainly overnight tonight and tomorrow morning, but nothing heavy, nothing severe, and pretty much the way it plays out around here. No real long-term warm-up, although we've got a nice 2 or 3 day window of dry time around here and a couple of days of warmth, and then back into some chillier weather. We'll just continue this alternating phase of back and forth, a day or two above, more seasonal for a day, and back to below, and each time generate some shower activity. Tough to get long-term drying and firming going around here with field work in mind, with that particular setup in mind. 42 over at Willard and Savoy right now, 36 at Rantoul, 48 Danville, partly sunny, a little lingering fog patch in a couple of spots. There's a bit of rain out through the western end of the state at the Mississippi. That'll be in here during the course of the later morning, and maybe another shower here in the later afternoon. 58 the high, down tonight to 37, a little evening rain. And for the day tomorrow, maybe a fog patch to start, partly sunny, cool at 53. That's almost 10 shy of normal. Patchy frost here Saturday morning with lower 30s to start, but we're up around 60 on Saturday, 66 on Sunday. That's better, and even 73 on Monday. A couple of showers and thunderstorms early in the day. Back to some chillier weather again Tuesday and Wednesday, but at least we're dry with high temperatures only in the mid and upper 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Invest in yourself with free rewards checking from Fisher National Bank. Instead of losing a little in fees each month, wouldn't it be nice to earn on your money? Switch to Fisher National. They offer excellent annual percentage yields with no minimum balance or service fees. All you need to do is make a dozen debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit a month. It's as easy as that to maximize on your money with a bank ready to invest in you. Learn more at FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank, exceptional communities, exceptional people, member FDIC.
Well, I tell you what, though, A&R has been such an amazing, impactful company. Your grandfather, your dad, you've all gone through stuff. And your secret is what, John?
Well, I mean, you have to trust that you're doing the right thing, first of all, and you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think over the years we've had some really good people that have been part of A&R, and we owe a lot of our success, if not all of it, to those people.
Neil, you could say A&R has built a great part of Champaign-Urbana. It's about people. Can you explain the culture, why people would want to work at A&R?
We've had several families where we've gone even 3 generations, and these guys are long-term employees. They want to stay with us, and it's rewarding to know that they want to be with us. We have their backs. They have our backs, and that's a unique perspective, I think, from anybody this day and age.
I'm positive because you're such a solid company. A&R Mechanical, a thriving leader 100 years later. Yep. Okay, 8:11. I'm Stevie J. Brother Johnny's in the house. Diane Ducey.
Hi.
Later this hour, Tim Onstadt, pitmaster extraordinaire from Garrett Trucking and Dedicated Diesel. Stand by for all of that. Okay, so here's a mega donor, former Democrat, gave millions of dollars, and couldn't get a call back from the White House from Barack Obama. Pretty interesting.
This is one thing I'll tell you about the Trump administration, which is totally different. Okay, I was a lifelong Democrat, okay? I was a mega donor to the Democrats. Like dinner with Obama level donor, okay? I couldn't get phone call return from the White House to save my life. The only thing that happened to me was I made an off-color comment about like something in China, and I had the Biden administration like basically say something, like essentially put out a press release, basically saying I was like, mean. That's all I got for millions of dollars. That, you know what I mean? Like,
for being honest.
I mean, I was like, hey man, there's like a lot of problems in America. Like, talk to me about the fentanyl crisis before we talk about everything else. Anyways, the Trump administration is totally different. There's not a single person there you can't get on the phone and talk to. I'll give you an example of this. A friend of mine's company was really impacted with these tariffs in a bad way, okay? This is like a really amazing, legitimate American business, 150-year-old business, family-owned, all this stuff. And I was able to call the deputy chief of staff and I said, hey, can you talk to the CEO? And just so here on the ground, he's like instantly putting me on the phone. You know, my wife runs a pharmaceutical business. And, you know, we wanted to make sure that the administration understood like all the implications for rare diseases and orphan drugs. What happens if these tariffs like cripple the R&D budgets? Because there's 30 million Americans with rare diseases. Rare disease means it's not like diabetes or cancer. Yeah. It's like 200,000 people or less. But there's 30 million of these Americans. 2/3 are kids. And the only companies that work on such small markets are these small biotech companies. And the tariffs create a lot of uncertainty. We were able to talk to all of them.
That's pretty good to get access and to get them explaining things and then talk to them.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier with John Decker, how hey, they'll answer questions and looks like they're showing us what they're doing, and you may not like some of it, but and you can make your own comment, and you won't get arrested or shut down.
Well, and then you have Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA. He was in campus at ISU, Illinois State University, on Tuesday. Then in the evening, he drove here and was at Folingo Auditorium for the evening. Well, here's a clip from the ISU campus with Charlie Kirk.
Trend of people leaving Illinois started well before. Actually, it started even when when Bruce Rauner was governor of the state, the trend was continuing. 1 million people over a decade. So as a liberal, I just want to have you, and by the way, it's not just Illinois, I want you to explain to me why so many people are leaving California, so many people are leaving Illinois, leaving New York, leaving New Jersey, and yet people are going to net increase to Arizona, to Texas, to Florida. Why is that?
I don't study that. I don't.
No, that's okay.
That's not what I came here to talk about.
Fair enough. But no, it's something to think about, because as a liberal, maybe people are voting with their feet because states like Illinois and California and New York are so terribly run with high taxes and bloated pension systems and radical left-wing ideas. Outside of all the back and forth and the gotchas or whatever, getting down to the concrete issue, our worldview is so popular that millions of people are moving to states that share our worldview, where millions of people are leaving the states that share your worldview.
Well, you're going to lose representatives if you're losing population.
Well, Illinois lost electoral votes.
Man.
I think the bigger picture is in the blue states, they seem to have developed this, approach to the electoral process. However it is, it's all legally made. Here's how we're going to do it. And the bottom line is the Democrats win everything. And when that happens, it's great if you're a Democrat, I suppose, but it isn't, because the Republicans, conservatives, and Pens feel like we don't like it and there's nothing we can do about it. And that's when you start thinking about moving to some place where you can have an impact. And you might have to compromise, but you don't even feel like there's a compromise.
Yeah, right.
You just feel like it's their way or the highway. And I don't agree with all of this. In fact, I don't agree with much of it at all. And I got no other options in this area, whether it's California or New York. And that's why people leave. It's a big move, and to make a decision, I need to go somewhere else that's better. You should look at yourself to see if maybe we're a little too heavy-handed. One way or the other.
No, absolutely. All right, quick check of our sports headlines. 8:16, Diane Ducey.
Your home for the St. Louis Cardinals is ESPN 93.5. Pittsburgh on top in 13 innings, 2-1 yesterday over the Cardinals. Andre Palante to the mound when they take on Philadelphia tomorrow night at 7:15. Texas over the Cubs to prevent a sweep. 6-2 was the final yesterday. They've got the L.A. Dodgers again, Stevie.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah. That's tomorrow night at 9:10. Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Cubs over on US 105.9. But overall, I feel like Cubs fans are happy these days.
No, they're in first place. Cubs are in first place, Johnny. What the heck?
I'm a Cub fan.
Yeah,
I get a lot of, disparagement from people. But we won the World Series not long ago.
No, that's right.
I was a Cubs fan, a Saints fan for a while, so I was kind of a fringe sports fan. But we came back around, and Yeah, we're kind of back to normal here lately. And like I said, as a Cubs fan, I understand our success, especially in April.
That's right.
And we just have to give it some time.
Yeah, well, again, they're in first place in the Central Division.
They've been in first place in April lots.
Yeah, well, maybe. We'll see how they do. But they've certainly got a chance to win that division. They hired Craig Counsell from Milwaukee, the manager, and he's the game changer. He's like $10 million a year. Baseball managers usually get $1 or $2 or $3 million a year.
Okay.
And this guy got 10.
I'm in a Wednesday supper club with my brothers, Michael and Gary. They were asking about Jacob Hurtubise and the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, he's still there. There's a lot of guys coming off IR today.
Okay.
And so we don't know if he'll be sent back to Louisville or not, but it could happen. We just have to go with the flow of Major League Baseball. That's all you can do.
Cleveland over the Chicago White Sox 3-2 yesterday. They have a day game today at 12:10. Parkland Athletics had 2 athletes of the month, Chandler Jackson and Nicole Sinks. Congratulations. Bulls over Miami 119-111. It is happening for the Masters at Augusta, Georgia. As far as Illini to watch, teeing off today, Thomas Dietrich and Brian Campbell. We'll be rooting for them. It's a spring sports fest with 8 events in 3 days on the Illinois campus.
All right, we'll check your weather with our meteorologist, Greg Soya. Then we get to look at the markets and how they're going to open, as everybody's interested in the markets right now. Coming up on 8:19, here's Greg.
Looking at everyone, let's check weather for Eastern Illinois, Champaign, and vicinity. A couple of more little pesky weather systems for the day today and through this evening. Then a break in some of the shower activity expected as we move on through the end part of the week. And a good-looking weekend with a warm-up in store. It's going to be short-lived, more chillier days ahead, and a couple of more shower outbreaks as well, but at least no major spring storms on the maps and charts. Have to deal with some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, not as cool, up to 58. A couple of spotty showers around for the mid-late morning, more likely, and back in towards evening time with a west-northwesterly wind on the light side. Tonight, lingering shower chance this evening in spots, mostly cloudy. 37 tomorrow, fog patch to start off the day, then partly sunny, and 53. Could be a frost patch tomorrow night, late into Saturday morning. Clear, colder tomorrow night, down to 33. Sunshine and up near 60 for the day on Saturday. Sunday, breezy, milder, partly cloudy, and a high near 66 up to 73. Shower chances for the day on Monday. Cooler weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs in the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Economists were expecting some improvement in the consumer price index in March, but the numbers came in much better than forecast. The CPI rose just 0.1%. Also up 0.1 for core CPI, excluding food and energy. For the year ending in March, the CPI declined to 2.4% and 2.8% for core CPI. Prada is buying Versace from Capri Holdings, the owner of Michael Kors and Jimmy Choo. It's a deal worth $1.3 billion. In 2023, Capri had a deal to sell itself to Tapestry, owner of Coach, but it was blocked by the Biden administration. CarMax shares are down 7.5%, though sales increased in the recent quarter. Earnings were below Wall Street expectations. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Coselda, invested in you.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News. The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. Listen and follow the Fox News Hourly Update at foxnewspodcasts.com or ask your smart speaker to play Fox News.
At F&B Wealth Management, it's not just about numbers, it's about people and communities. Hi, I'm Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank and F&B Wealth Management. Our team is united by a shared passion for helping you achieve your financial goals. We are equipped and eager to work together to craft personalized financial solutions just for you, including retirement planning, risk management through life insurance, long-term care insurance planning, and investment advisory services. Together, we will celebrate milestones, navigate life's transitions, and build a financial future that reflects your values. Experience the difference of a team that truly cares. Visit investwithfnb.com to learn more about dedicated advisors and start your journey toward a financial confidence today.
FNB Wealth Management is a division of Fisher National Bank. FNB securities are not insured by the FDIC, not a deposit or other obligation of or guaranteed by the depository institution, subject to investment risks, including possible loss of the principal amount invested. Securities, insurance, and investment advisory services are offered through Midwestern Securities Trading Company, LLC, MSTC, member FINRA, SIPC. MSTC and FNB are not affiliated.
FNB Wealth Management, supporting exceptional communities full of exceptional people.
Payday on the line.
Sir.
The second annual running of the
going to be Farmer City Raceway coming up tomorrow night when we're going to have Ruben Morales is on the line. Ruben, are you there?
Absolutely. Good morning.
You got the Illini 100 World Outlaws Farmer City Raceway tomorrow night, man, and you just go city to city. Do you have any idea where you are when you wake up?
No. But I look outside and there's a cornfield, and I know I'm in Illinois, and where the corn grows high, there's good racetracks. So I'm happy to be back in the land of Lincoln.
Good. Well, you've been doing this for a little while. Talk about your history and how you got into announcing at racetracks.
Yeah, I started going to the racetrack at 7 years old, and our local announcer back home in Las Cruces, New Mexico, El Paso, Texas, ended up going on the national tour, and I was really passionate about it. And my boss, which was Royal Jones, who owned the two racetracks, gave me the opportunity to be the announcer at 12 years old.
12 years old. Come
yeah.
on, man. Come on, man. That's crazy. 12?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. $50 for a Friday night, Saturday night. I was like a kid at a candy store, just, really happy and made it work. Got my first national gig, which was the Dirt Car Summer Nationals, which was heavily based in Illinois. I did that for 5 years, and then on the national tour now for my third year. Which is really,
how do you prep? How do you get ready for this thing?
Yeah, I contact drivers. I get their information. So when I announce drivers, I need to get their car number, their driver name, hometown, what chassis they drive, engine, and then all their sponsors. And then I go in there and get their stats. How many World of Outlaw trucks do they have? What's their best finish? And their best finish at the Illini 100 and things like that. And just get to know the driver and get the storyline for the fan.
Are the sound systems comparable? Can everybody hear you?
When the cars are running, probably not. It's very hard to hear over the cars. But we're always live on Dirt Vision. Dirt Vision is our platform where we stream every race live. And, we're always thinking to the broadcast, too. And fun fact, we love the Illini so much that this weekend we pre-package it, and it's going on CBS Sports Network.
Wow, cool.
Any idea how many eyeballs hit that thing? Do you have any idea how big of an audience you have nationwide, worldwide?
Man, I don't know the numbers on that, but I know it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Sure
This sport is definitely a world that people really, don't know much about. But when you get into it, it's a big world, and especially when you're in Illinois, the fans around the world know the racing's going to be good. So there's a lot of eyeballs on the Illini 100.
It is so fun in Farmer City to see all the campers around the track and people sitting on top of those RVs and have a little fire. And, of course, they have a huge seating area. They have a beer tent. The concessions are awesome. So it is really the show to me when my son Aiden and I go out there and have a great time in Farmer City. And this gets us out of the gate on our season of racing with the Illini 100, both Friday and Saturday nights. Ruben, I know Bobby Pierce is leading the pack in many ways, and he's a local driver. Do you know much about Bobby?
Yeah, so obviously Farmer City, very special to Bobby, 45 minutes away from his house. And guys, believe it or not, Bobby Pierce is the number one dirt late model driver in the country, and he's been on the tear the past couple of years. He won the Outlaw Championship 2 years ago, but going back to 2021, he had not won a World of Outlaws race, and his first World of Outlaws race was right here at Farmer City in 2021. And Bobby Pierce loves Farmer City Raceway. Since then, guys, it's been 4 years now. He has 33 World of Outlaw wins now. Bobby Pierce, it was April 3rd, 2021 when he got his first World of Outlaws win. But right now, he's on top of the world. He won our Super Bowl for late models, the World 100 last year. Came so close to a World of Outlaws championship last year. I mean, he won our Gopher 50. He won the Illini last year as well. So, Bobby Pierce trying to go back-to-back, and he's just the one to beat right now, and of course leading the World of Outlaws point standing.
Awesome.
Appreciate you waking up, Ruben. I know you guys need to sleep in when you got nights, stuff. We appreciate you getting up and being on the air. We hope people go tomorrow night.
Pretty big prize for the drivers too, right, Ruben?
Absolutely. We need every fan that you can get, that we can get both nights. So it's called the Illini 100 because Friday will be 40 laps, Saturday 60 laps. And, of course, we'll have hot lap qualifying, heat, LCSs. But the features, yes, it's $12,000 to win Friday, and it's good money to start. Like, local drivers have a great shot. It's $1,000 to start Friday. But Saturday, $1,500, guys, just to start. That's to finish 24th. $1,500.
I could do that.
But to win, $20,000.
What the heck, man? That's not a bad weekend.
All right.
Yeah.
Ruben, that's
how
awesome.
How about we put a car together? Let's go. We got to start.
You just have to turn left all the time.
Yeah, that's right. And then you got to be okay getting bumped a little bit, right? So.
Well, you got to turn right to go left, but yes, it's a little tricky.
Hey, listen, Ruben, appreciate your time. Hope it goes really well. Welcome to the area. We hope it goes splendidly over the weekend for you.
Thank you all so much for having me. It's Farmer City, baby. Hope to see everyone out there.
That's right. FarmerCityRacing.com for details. It looks like the hot laps are at 6:30, qualifying at 7, racing for Friday and Saturday night at 7:30.
All right, World of Outlaws Friday night, Farmer City, Illinois. We'll be back. News coming up.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana. At Pards in Urbana, the boots just keep on coming. They're known for their huge collection of men's cowboy boots, women's cowgirl boots, kids' boots, and even shoes. If you're searching for top footwear brands, look no further than Pards. They carry a wide variety, including Ariat, Dan Post, Smoky Mountain, Roper, Double H, and more. And if socks or accessories are what you need, they've got all your high-quality essentials. Since 1968, Pards has been serving their customers with high-quality merchandise. And if you haven't been to Pards in a while, a lot has changed. Go check them out just off University Avenue in Urbana.
We're back. We have Paul Rican from Dick Van Dyke Appliance World on the air. Paul, what makes buying an appliance at Dick Van Dyke so special?
Well, Chris, it all starts with our service department. We have an in-house service team that's second to none. And Chris, is that a dog in the back?
Max, keep it down. Have a snack, buddy. Go ahead, Paul.
With our in-house service team, we have our free 10-year protection plan included on most appliance purchases.
Paul, sorry. Let me close the window here.
Should we start over? Or?
Nope, we are on the air.
All right, so with our free protection plan, we also give you a lifetime discount on the service call even after the 10 years runs out.
Hey, cut it out for a second. Sorry, Paul, I have a basement remodel going on. Did you say a service call discount for the life of the appliance? Uninterrupted discounted service?
Uninterrupted discounted service.
For the life of the appliance. Uninterrupted, huh? I like that.
No interruptions. The kind of service that makes Dad say,
wow.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. Stocks start the morning lower, coming off yesterday's historic rise after President Trump paused new reciprocal tariffs that White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett says have encouraged trade negotiations.
We've already got offers on the table for more than 15 countries. 15 countries.
Great.
Now, that doesn't mean there's a deal, but it means that you've heard the much larger number for people who call, they want to talk.
He was on Fox and Friends. There's been a prisoner swap with Russia for a woman convicted of treason for donating to a charity for Ukraine. Here's Fox's Alex Hogan.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio confirmed the news this morning, writing on X. American Ksenia Karolina is on a plane back home to the United States. She was wrongfully detained by Russia for over a year, and President Trump secured her release. She was freed in exchange for a German-Russian dual national.
And he's accused of illegally exporting electronics for use in Russian military equipment. America's listening to Fox News.
Melissa needed to sell her home, reached out to the experts at Nate Evans Group for help to get the most money possible for her home. We all want that. Melissa said that the Nate Evans Group was there for her from start to finish. They were professional, knowledgeable and incredibly responsive.
Invested in our community, too. I know there's an event coming up with Don Moyer Boys and Girls Club. Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. If you're looking for an immediate cash offer on your home, there's flexible fees. Sell your home for the most money possible and call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans, 217-239-7113. You can do that online search to Nate Evans Group, and you can type in your address and find out the home value and what your home is worth in today's market in case you're exploring the next chapter. So yeah, it's Nate Evans Group to start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to theNateEvansGroup.com.
Here's a look at local news. A trial of the former Sangamon County Sheriff Deputy charged in the killing of Sonia Massey last year being moved to Peoria County. Decision announced after Sean Grayson's lawyers filed a motion saying they don't believe he can get a fair trial in Sangamon County. Illinois strengthening its trade relationship with the UK. The governor joining British officials at the Illinois State Capitol to sign a memorandum of understanding between Illinois and the United Kingdom. The MOU focuses on advancing manufacturing in the energy, technology, and life science sectors. Illinois exported over $2.6 billion in goods to the UK last year. A reopening date set for a historic hotel in Urbana. The former Urbana, Lincoln, and Landmark Hotel will reopen as Hotel Royer April 16. The hotel's booking website isn't allowing reservations for dates before April 28th. The reopening follows years of renovations at that hotel. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Don't get everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, and Memphis, Saturday. A couple of more little pesky weather systems for the day today and through this evening. Then a break in some of the shower activity expected as we move on through the end part of the week. And a good-looking weekend with a warm-up in store. It's going to be short-lived. More chillier days ahead and a couple of more shower outbreaks as well, but at least no major spring storms on the maps and charts. Have to deal with some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, not as cool, up to 58. A couple of spotty showers around for the mid-late morning, more likely, and back in towards evening time with a west-northwesterly wind on the light side. Tonight, lingering shower chance this evening in spots, mostly cloudy. 37 tomorrow, fog patch to start off the day, then partly sunny and 53. Could be a frost patch tomorrow night, late into Saturday morning. Clear, colder tomorrow night down to 33. Sunshine and up near 60 for the day on Saturday. Sunday, breezy, milder, partly cloudy, and a high near 66 up to 73. Shower chances for the day on Monday. Cooler weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs in the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
What is most important to you in your life? This is Eric Boland with Provident Financial Group. Whether you're launching a career, raising a family, planning for retirement, or creating a legacy, we can help. At Provident, we provide strategic thinking and perspective that help clients like you realize their goals. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Sarah Champagne managing partner Ben Quattrone on why integrity is important at Sarah.
We hire the person. The person makes the deal. The person makes the department. The person makes everyone around them treat people with courtesy and respect. If you have a quality human being, you can play any position, right? We're talking about sports. They can perform in any department, and I could teach someone a job, but I can't teach them to be a good person.
Learn more at sarahchampagne.com. That's SERRA champagne.com. And now, a brand new show called Smoke, where we help you with your grill and making the best meat ever. With award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. Smoke in Tim's Grill. He's the best brisket maker ever. Smoke in Tim's Grill. And now award-winning competition pitmaster Tim Onstadt. And live in the studio, how about that? Good to have Tim here in the studio with us, our pitmaster extraordinaire. We talk grilling, we talk smoking, we talk barbecue, and you brought something.
I brought something for you, Stevie. I heard about this last year. A company called BaseballBBQ.com did an ad and some advertising with KCBS, who we compete with on the circuit, and it got me to thinking. And this year I sent an email on their contact page and told them the story about Jacob and you, and that I'm a competitor. And within 10 minutes, I got an email back from one of the owners of the company and said, I want part of this project. And he said, I'll call you in 5 minutes. And he did. And we talked a little bit about it. They used to have a deal with the Major League Baseball Players Association to do some special things. That kind of went by the wayside, but chancing Jacob suing us on an NIL violation, I went ahead and you got this one-off gift.
Really?
And baseballbbq.com gave us a tremendous discount and deal on this.
Look at that. I have that on the, that's amazing. Wow.
And, yeah, we got Jacob's name and number on the back of the jersey. That's a cutting board.
That's amazing.
And got the Cincinnati Red barbecue tools, bat handle barbecue tools. But you can.
Amazing. Oh, my gosh. I can't wait to show Grace and Jacob this. This is
something for your family
thank you.
To enjoy.
My goodness,
and just kind of a takeoff. Thanks to Brett Mandel with baseballbbq.com.
It's unreal.
And
that's unbelievable. Thank you so much. That's a great meeting.
And what Brett has also included is for your listeners a promotion from baseballbbq.com on their website. If your fans want to go on and order something, they have the Stevie J discount code of discount 10. Put in at checkout, and they'll give you 10%
well,
off.
I'll be darned. That's tax-free then. That's awesome. How nice is that? And that, again, is Baseball Barbecue.
Baseball BBQ.
BaseballBBQ.com. And you can go and get all kinds of great stuff.
Yeah, you can get the cutting boards that are shaped like the home plate with your team's name and logo on them, all kinds of stuff. That was the one that we picked out because we could get Jacob's name and number on the back of it, just like a real jersey.
Listen, that's so nice of you, Tim. Thank you very, very much.
Well, you've done a lot of nice stuff for Don and I, and Gail Frericks Trucking, and Dedicated Diesel, and it's nice to give back once in a while.
Can't wait to show that to Grace and Jacob. They'll just love it. Thank you so much, Johnny. That's unbelievable.
You're very welcome.
Thank you, Diane. That's amazing, you guys.
Yeah. Happy
now we got to get him to put some of that brisket on there.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's. I'm afraid to even use that because I'll get it all.
Well, and some care tips for that.
Yeah.
You want to use some food grade mineral oil.
Food grade mineral oil.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Every few months, it's just mineral oil that's refined and pure, so that you don't get sick from it.
Okay. Where do I put that?
Just put it on a rag and wipe it down.
Wipe the cutting board down?
Yeah, wipe the cutting board
every
down.
time.
Not every time, no, but
okay.
Every month or two.
Mineral grade oil. Where would a guy buy that?
The grocery store.
I got Italian olive oil.
Not quite the same.
Okay.
You'll want to use mineral oil because it won't necessarily go rancid in the board. That's
gotcha.
the key.
Okay, good point.
I'll buy it for you, Steve.
Okay.
Mineral
oil.
Otherwise, you'll be using olive oil.
Another thing you brought along is some eggs, and I know this is an adventure for you and Donna, and you've got some new breeds of chickens.
Well, we've got some new chickens that we hatched from the breeds that we have, and we did some little crossing. But I know Stevie was kind of worried I was going to bring him live chickens this morning.
Well, Jan would probably take it. I mean, we Nathaniel and Allison, when we had their baby shower, we had 4 little yellow chicks. I don't know what kind they are, but they grew up to be chickens laying eggs in Chicago for them. Mm-hmm. They're out in the back.
Well, you give a man a few eggs he eats for a day. You give him a few chickens and he eats forever.
There you go.
There you go.
How long do the chickens lay the eggs?
Oh,
I mean, when are they done, and what do you do? Because you really can't eat that chicken. That'd be hard.
No, they just taper off and slow down when they get older. And
okay.
I mean, you may get to where you get an egg once a week from an old hen, but yeah.
How long do they live?
4 to 5 years.
Okay.
Maybe a little more.
All right.
I mean, there's been chickens 7, 8 years old, but they start laying at about 5 months. Slow down a lot in the winter. Right now, the chickens are picking up and laying about 5-6 dozen a week.
Whoa! How many chickens you got?
46.
Wow,
We
that's
had
a lot.
we lost 2 over the winter, so that was a pretty good ratio. But yeah,
it's a lot of chicken eggs there.
Got a lot of eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew and Brittany, my son and daughter-in-law, had 8 chickens. Kind of became pets out there in the mountains of Colorado. Fox got 2, bear got 1, ferret got the rest.
Oh boy!
Fox got 2, bear.
Bear.
Yeah.
Bear.
That's not good. Isn't a chicken fast enough
Brittany
to get
took a shot at the bear, which wouldn't have hurt it because it was a 22, about 200 yards, but she didn't hit it. And then she could have gone to jail, Tim, if she would have.
In Colorado, yeah.
Well, if it's after your livestock, you're okay.
You make it mad.
Wow.
Yeah,
it was a black bear.
Yeah.
Man,
Okay.
that's crazy living in the wild now. Anyway, Tim Onstad, when's your first tournament? When do you guys go in competition?
Right now, our first one is scheduled the first weekend of June at the Hoosier Classic in Franklin, Indiana. We may add one next month. I haven't really thought about it. Been busy with other stuff with Gale Ferrex Trucking and Dedicated Diesel, and but that's the first one on the schedule is the first weekend in June in Franklin, Indiana.
Well, Johnny, they're grand champions. They were perfect scoring the brisket a year or so ago. It's unbelievable. How do you get a perfect score?
I'm telling you,
and Johnny's eating it. He's had it, so you said it's the best you've ever.
I'm hungry right now just thinking about it.
Yeah.
All right, but before we let Tim Onstad go, tell me anything I need to know about Gale Ferrex Trucking this week.
Oh, we're doing just as busy as we can be right now. We're still looking for a couple of good, dedicated drivers that want to join a home, get home on time, get home every weekend, make good money. We're ready to go.
Dedicated Diesel. Can I buy a Dixie chopper?
Yeah, I was on my way up here and listening to you, and you were talking about True Green, and I passed a True Green truck.
It's actually
on the way
Spring
here.
Green.
Spring Green?
Yeah.
But you probably passed that truck too because they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Well, when you got those guys working on your yard, you're going to need to mow it because
Yeah, that's right.
they make the grass grow.
Yeah.
And it looks good. So you'll want to cut down your time and get a Dixie chopper, and we'll work with that. And Andy over at Dedicated Diesel, he's got some deals. You can give him a call at 217-328-0562. Go to Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
And also, if they want to reach you and apply to be a trucker home on weekends, I've told him, Johnny, I will drive for him if I can go to the ramp, park it, and call him to come get it because I don't want to drive it in town.
I'm sorry, Stevie. We need some professionals that actually deliver.
I think I could get it to the ramp. I'm not going.
We don't want you driving it in town either.
That's right.
They can get a hold of me at TIMO@GFTLOG.com, 765-793-7131. And we'll get them in a truck and get you going. Got a couple years experience, over 23 years old, good safety record. Those are the guys we're looking for.
And you're talking about making a little money, man. And home on weekends is just so unusual. You guys are such a family company.
Well, we try to make it so that guys can earn a living and spend time with their families too. We got a $1,200 weekly minimum gross, so they're not going to go hungry a week if it's a slower week for them. So
it's a good place to go, man. You want to work for Gale Ferrex Trucking.
I had somebody ask me about the different price points and different types of mowers with Dedicated Diesel and Dixie Chopper. Is there a variety to choose from, or it's mainly the guys who are professional?
No, we've got the smaller residential mowers that start at right around $5,000. Of course, we can work with that price a little bit and go all the way up to $12,000, $15,000, $20,000 for the big professional models.
Okay. Johnny, it would take you, because you're pretty wide open over here down the street in Philo. I bet Johnny could get that lawn mowed in 20 minutes.
Well, I don't know. You still have to have some proficiency in anything, including mowing. But maybe. Yeah,
it has turns. I mean, you could
zero turn. You can whip around those trees.
I take it back. I'm going to say 15.
Okay.
Because it's the fastest mower ever made.
Wow.
Maybe I need to come over and mow Johnny's yard for him and see how long.
And we could run a stopwatch on
Tim. Would be 12. Hey, listen, Tim, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the Cincinnati Red stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. You do a wonderful job for us. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you. Tim Onstad, Pitmaster Extraordinaire, Gale Ferrex Trucking, Dedicated Diesel, ESPN 93.5.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
My name is Jim Brookins. I own my lawn care service for over 15 years now. I have met a lot of great people doing this. Most of the people I meet, they become great friends. I do edging, weed eating. I blow everything off so it looks fantastic when I'm done. I believe, in my mind, I do the best. Usually my average range is usually around $40 per yard. You can call me 217-621-8807. 217-621-8807.
Actually, I called the provider. It was just going to be a while before I could have service, and I couldn't wait, so I was recommended to Classic. Professionalism, their dependability, credibility, and the service technicians, I wouldn't ever call anybody else.
I truly believe that after people have experienced other companies and then given us a try, they can clearly see the difference.
Visit ClassicPlum.com.
Winter's finally over. Time to thaw out and enjoy the sunshine. But is your yard ready? Huh? 2 Minute Junk Truck can help you ditch the clutter and create the perfect outdoor oasis. From old patio furniture to forgotten fire pits, 2 Minute Junk Truck will haul it all away. Get ready for cookouts, parties, or just chilling with a good book. Make space for what matters most. Visit 2MinuteJunkTruck.com today. Use code RADIO25 to save $25 on your next service.
If you're in the market for a new car battery, you could go to one of those big box stores, except there's no guarantee you'll be served by an actual car expert.
Clean up in aisle 3.
You could pick a battery off the shelf, except it might be close to expiring. Or you could just come into Interstate. Don't make a big box store blunder. With competitive prices and a more personal, reliable approach, Interstate Batteries is the clear-cut choice if you want to guarantee yourself a new and trustworthy car battery. They're open and ready to serve you at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Logan everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign and Memphis, Saturday. A couple of more little pesky weather systems for the day today and through this evening. Then a break in some of the shower activity expected as we move on through the end part of the week. And a good looking weekend with a warm up in store. It's going to be short lived, more chillier days ahead, and a couple of more shower outbreaks as well, but at least no major spring storms on the maps and charts. Have to deal with some patchy fog around this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, not as cool, up to 58. A couple of spotty showers around for the mid late morning, more likely, and back in towards evening time with a west-northwesterly wind on the light side. Tonight, lingering shower chance this evening in spots, mostly cloudy. 37 tomorrow, fog patch to start off the day, then partly sunny and 53. Could be a frost patch tomorrow night, late into Saturday morning. Clear, colder tomorrow night down to 33. Sunshine and up near 60 for the day on Saturday. Sunday, breezy, milder, partly cloudy, and high near 66 up to 73. Shower chances for the day on Monday. Cooler weather next Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs in the 50s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
PDR Automotive has now been serving the Champaign-Urbana area for over 50 years. To give you some perspective, 50 years ago ended the U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War, and it was when Secretariat won the Triple Crown. So what does that mean for you and your vehicle? Whether you need a carburetor overhauled or your new vehicle computer system diagnosed or programmed, PDR Automotive has the experienced, knowledgeable staff that can handle all your automotive needs. Online at pdrauto.com, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. Well, tell me, Tim Onslaught, lawn mowing season soon, Dixie Chopper, dedicated diesel. It's off Route 45 as you're heading toward Rantoul. You turn left on Triumph Drive till you can't drive anymore, and you'll be right there. And you got some Dixie Choppers I could buy.
Oh, yeah. Andy's got his hands full with Dixie Choppers, and stop by, see Andy, get a great deal on a mower.
Fastest mower you can buy, so you don't have to spend 2 hours out there. You might spend 45 minutes, and plus, Andy can tune it up or fix it.
Sure he can. Yeah, we got a full shop ready to go. Whatever you need.
When it comes to early on here in the spring, it can be, weeds up to your mid-thigh or whatever. So sometimes you need a really tough kind of mower to get through all that in the brush.
Well, yeah, these are built solid. They'll get through that stuff, and all of the structural components have a great warranty. So if something does go wrong, we can definitely get it fixed. Get Andy at Dedicated Diesel 217-328-0562 or Dedicated Equipment on Facebook.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
All right, as we wrap this up, so nice to get a Tim Onslaught. I love the cutting board with Jacob Hurtaby's number and jersey. It's just awesome. Before we let you go, listen to this, please. Johnny, Diane.
Come to me on a summer breeze. Keep me warm in your love. Then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show.
Anybody recognize this?
Well, it's a Bee Gees song. But I mean, who's singing it?
It's being sung by the Bee Gees grandkids.
Oh, nice.
It's the what? The Bee Gees, the guys that do the band, the original guys, this is their grandkids.
The Gibbses.
Oh, no kidding.
The Gibbses grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good.
Nice.
They got to write their own stuff now.
They should probably get a gig at the county fair doing this.
Yeah,
oh, that's great. That's it. Now that sounds exactly.
Oh, there's
well,
great Bee Gees songs. It's a good idea to cover that.
I mean, it makes sense they could sing, right?
That's right. I had some friends asking about the garage sale. It is coming up Saturday. It's 2 men in a junk truck, and they've got some nice items that they'll be selling, and all the proceeds go to Courage Connection. So take note of that, 8 a.m. to noon, 701 West Bradley in Champaign.
You've got garage sailors in your life.
Absolutely.
They need to know that 2 men in a truck, 8 to noon Saturday. You'll want to go to that because you're going to find stuff that, wow.
The second chance garage sale.
And it's a lot of people have 2 men in a truck, junk truck, come and get stuff, and you go, this is like new.
Right.
So it's going to be priced accordingly, but if it goes to Courage Connection, it helps people.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's an awesome garage sale, and the sailors will be there. If they hear about it, I'm sure they've heard about it because we've talked about it. So it gets out.
Yeah, I love it.
Of course, if you're a competitive sailor, you don't tell them.
That's right.
You don't keep the other sharp elbow people out. All right, Johnny, pleasure. Thank you for being here.
And it's
all right,
sibling
it's
day.
Pleasure to be here.
Sibling day.
And it's be 61 degrees with some sun. I like it.
I like it too.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you.
Enjoy the day.
I am Stevie J. Thank you for listening. Have a great Thursday. We shall visit tomorrow. And now, Kelsey Briggs, owner of Salon 105 in Mahomet.
We have a luxury destination salon located out here in Central Illinois, and we have stylists here for everybody and any need. We have a very wide range of stylists that can cover any needs. There is somebody that can provide any services from a perm to a balayage to extensions and everything in between. Every stylist that works here is certified in Bellohaven hand-tied extensions, and we do a lot of education. We bring in high-level educators from all over the world and invite local salons to come out here and learn. So not only do we welcome clients here, but we also welcome other stylists or salons in the area to come and learn.
To book your appointment at one of the premier salons in Central Illinois, go to salon-105.com. That's salon-105.com.
Allow me to introduce you to a true friend of mine. And whenever I've had problems, he would listen and always stayed by my side and offered great advice, providing comfort, strength, forgiveness, and healing. His name Jesus Christ. Come, you're invited to join us, Muhammad Christian Church, as we celebrate what a glorious day this Easter Sunday. And when you arrive, step right in. You will be greeted with smiles, hellos, and a friendly, glad you joined us today. Oh, and please visit our Welcome Center. We are Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad. Visit us for our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m. Celebrate the resurrection of our Savior and allow our friend Jesus Christ to fill your heart with his love. Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road in Muhammad, our Easter Sunday service at 10 a.m.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
Are you tired of shivering in the winter? Look no further than your local heroes at ABC Heating and Air Conditioning. Hi, this is Gina inviting you to give us a call at 217-352-5400 to book your appointment to make sure your furnaces run safely and efficiently this winter. We've been proudly locally owned and operated and have been serving our community for over 50 years. ABC, always be comfortable. Call me 217-352-5400 to book your appointment today or go to abcheatingandac.com.
Drive in, drive out. Recycling's what Max is all about. You can make some cash and do your share. We make it really simple because we care. It doesn't matter large or small. Our friendly staff will handle it all. Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
All right, Tim Onstad, tell me how you're doing at Dedicated Diesel and the Dixie Chopper. You have any late model deals here I can make?
Yeah, there are fall deals on everything. We've got 3 or 4 used machines in there that Andy's looking to get rid of. We still have some new models, very few, limited of those, but those are going to be at the lowest prices that you can get. If you give us a price and it's close to what our dealer invoice is, he'll go for it.
Okay.
We'll do that and get rid of it.
Good time to buy then.
It's a great time to buy. Best prices you can get, and if you need service, now's the time to bring them in to get them serviced and get ahead of the rush and get ready for spring.
Gail Frericks Trucking, can people apply just to give you a resume?
We actually are starting a waiting list now for drivers for our regional van over the road. We've got a good group right now, and we're blessed with it.
What's the location?
1313 Triumph Drive in Urbana. You can get Andy at 217-328-0562. They can reach me at the office at 765-793-7131.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs